The left-wing ABC, now that's not short of taxpayer money either, $1 billion a year. Rowan, it's now focusing on what presumably it thinks is the biggest issue in this coronavirus crisis, which isn't getting people back to work. It's racism. It's asked ABC readers to contact it about their worst stories about racism in this pandemic. The ABC wants to hear your story, it says. And it asks a leading question. Have you seen or heard any evidence of an increase in racism in Australia since the coronavirus pandemic began? Rowan, it seems to me this is trawling for mud, like the police did with George Pell, you know. Tell us, come forward, you victims, because we're going to nail these people.
Yeah, there's another parallel as well, Andrew, which is the Human Rights Commission under Gillian Triggs and Tim Soup Parmesan went around trawling to find people who would be offended by Bill Leak's cartoon because they themselves wanted to be offended by it, wanted people to be offended by it, but nobody clearly was until they put out Facebook calls, Facebook posts saying, how are you offended by this cartoon? Because obviously people who read The Australian weren't offended by the cartoon, but if you put out enough, if you go throw the net wide enough, you're going to catch some. They actually had to go all the way to Germany to find someone who was offended by Bill Leak's cartoon. But once they had that, that gave them the right to go after him with tragic consequences. So here we have the ABC trawling for racists or racist behaviour. Now, so does that mean, Andrew, that we give $1 billion to the ABC to go and find racists, plus we give however 100 million to the Human Rights Commission every year to go and find racists? Do we need both of them? Can't just one do the job? Maybe we should let the Human Rights Commission make TV programs and just get rid of the $1 billion for the ABC. Or on the other hand, we could get the ABC to run around finding racists, because that's clearly what their focus is at the moment. But we don't need both.
Rowan, brilliant. And I wonder, here's my bet, Rowan. Whoever writes into this survey, I saw racism there, I'm a victim, I will bet you that not one of those complaints will be checked for, fact-checked. Did it really happen, as they say? Is there another side of the story? Bet you it won't happen. I bet you they'll season it. Racism porn. Let's stick it in there. And I bet you their findings will be racist nation. Rowan Dean, thank you so much for your time, mate.